There is a knowledge older than kings, older than empires, whispered through stone and flame, waiting for those with eyes to see. In the quiet corners of history, where the echoes of ancient wisdom still resonate, there lies a hidden path, a thread connecting the past with the present. For millennia, certain teachings have been passed down in secret, concealed beneath layers of symbolism and mystery. These teachings, known as the Hermetic traditions, hold the key to unlocking the deepest realms of human potential. But here's the question: what if everything you've ever been taught about reality, time, and your own power was incomplete? What if there's a forgotten art that could transform your daily life, revealing the true nature of the universe and your place within it? The Hermetic principles, often veiled in metaphysical language, are not relics of an ancient past. They are living, breathing practices that can illuminate the way forward in this modern world. From the great Egyptian sages to the philosophers of the Renaissance, these teachings have influenced mystics, scientists, and spiritual leaders alike. But how does this knowledge translate into our fast-paced, digital age? Is it possible to integrate timeless wisdom into the chaos of modern life? In this video, we will uncover the sacred teachings of the Hermetic arts, not as mere intellectual pursuits, but as practical tools for transformation. We will explore the core principles that govern the Hermetic tradition, understand their deeper meanings, and show how these ageless truths can be applied to our everyday challenges. But beware, this isn't just about self-help or superficial motivation. This is about tapping into the very currents of existence, aligning yourself with the forces of the universe, and mastering the hidden laws that shape your reality. If you are ready to step beyond the ordinary and embrace the mystical, then the journey begins now. Are you prepared to awaken the ancient wisdom within? To understand the power of Hermetic practices in modern life, we must first venture back in time, to a world where the lines between the mystical and the scientific were blurred, where the sacred and the practical were one and the same. This world, though lost to the sands of time, still whispers to us through the echoes of ancient texts and forgotten teachings. The term Hermetic comes from the god Hermes Trismegistus, a figure shrouded in mystery and often depicted as a combination of the Egyptian god Thoth and the Greek god Hermes. Legends speak of Hermes Trismegistus as the divine teacher, the master of alchemy, magic, astrology, and spiritual transformation. He was believed to have authored the Corpus Hermeticum, a collection of writings that became the foundation of Hermetic philosophy. These texts, composed during the early centuries of the Common Era, are filled with profound insights into the nature of the universe, the human soul, and the very laws that govern existence. The Hermetic teachings were considered so powerful that they were kept largely secret for centuries. These esoteric texts were not meant for the masses but for the select few, initiates who were ready to transcend the limitations of ordinary life and enter into higher planes of knowledge. But why this secrecy? Why were these teachings hidden, sometimes even in plain sight? The answer lies in the nature of the wisdom itself. The Hermetic principles are not mere intellectual concepts, they are living forces. To fully comprehend them, one must engage with them on a deep, personal level, through direct experience, not just abstract thought. The mysteries of the universe, according to Hermetic philosophy, are hidden from the unprepared because they are not just learned, they must be lived. Only by aligning oneself with these forces can one truly understand their depth. Throughout history, Hermetic teachings have influenced some of the greatest minds. From the alchemists of the Middle Ages to the great philosophers of the Renaissance, figures like Paracelsus, Marsilio Ficino, and even Isaac Newton were deeply inspired by the Hermetic arts. The Renaissance itself was a rebirth of ancient knowledge, a time when the mystical and the rational came together to form a new understanding of humanity's place in the cosmos. Yet, despite this rich history, much of this knowledge has been obscured or forgotten over time. With the rise of organized religion, the spread of scientific materialism, and the rise of modern philosophy, many of the deeper truths hidden within the Hermetic teachings were lost or distorted. The mystical practices that once served as the guiding light for spiritual enlightenment became marginalized, dismissed as arcane or irrelevant in the face of modern progress. But what if those same teachings, concealed in the folds of history, still have something to offer us today? What if, in the modern chaos of information overload, consumerism, and spiritual confusion, the Hermetic principles offer the clarity we so desperately seek? In the next section, we will begin to unravel the core principles of Hermeticism, principles that have stood the test of time, waiting for the moment when humanity would be ready to rediscover them. Beneath the veils of ancient symbolism, the Hermetic tradition reveals 7 fundamental laws, 7 keys that unlock the hidden machinery of existence. These are not arbitrary teachings, but universal truths observed by mystics across millennia. They describe the unseen architecture of reality itself. They are known collectively as the 7 Hermetic principles. Each principle acts as a gateway, a lens through which we can perceive and influence the flow of life. To truly live a Hermetic life is to align with these forces, not to resist them, but to move as they move, to think as they think. The first of these is the principle of mentalism. The all is mind, the universe is mental. This is not mere poetry. It is a radical proclamation that reality itself arises from consciousness. The universe is not a dead, mechanical machine, it is a living, breathing thought, and you are not a passive observer, you are a co-creator. Your mind is not trapped inside the body, it shapes the very reality you experience. Every belief, every emotion, every focused intention sends ripples across the vast ocean of existence. Imagine holding a mirror to the cosmos and realizing that the reflection staring back is your own thought made manifest. This is the first great secret. Mastery of the mind is mastery of reality itself. The second is the principle of correspondence. As above, so below, as below, so above. This ancient axiom unveils the fractal nature of the universe. What happens within you echoes outward. What transpires in the cosmos finds reflection in your soul. The microcosm and the macrocosm are bound by an invisible thread. When you heal your inner world, you heal your outer reality. When you gaze into the stars, you are, in truth, gazing into yourself. The third, the principle of vibration, teaches us, nothing rests, everything moves, everything vibrates. At the heart of all matter, beneath the illusion of solidity, there is motion, frequency, resonance. Every thought, every emotion, every intention carries a unique vibrational signature. To master vibration is to master influence, within and without. It is to tune yourself like an instrument, harmonizing with higher frequencies of love, wisdom, and truth, or descending into the chaotic cacophonies of fear and ignorance. Pause for a moment and consider, what is the frequency you are emanating now? What unseen forces are you tuning yourself to? The fourth principle, the principle of polarity, reveals that everything is dual, everything has poles, everything has its pair of opposites. Light and darkness, love and fear, hot and cold, all are but varying degrees of the same thing. Nothing is absolute, all is relative, mutable. This principle teaches the art of transmutation, the sacred alchemy of shifting your state by understanding the continuum of opposites. Despair can be transmuted into hope, anger into power, confusion into clarity. The secret lies in recognizing that they are but two ends of a single spectrum. Thus, to the Hermetic practitioner, no emotion, no circumstance is immutable. All can be transformed. But the mysteries deepen further still. The fifth principle, the principle of rhythm, whispers, everything flows, out and in, everything has its tides, all things rise and fall. Life moves in cycles, birth and death, creation and destruction, expansion and contraction. Those who resist the tides are battered and broken. Those who learn to ride the waves, however, can harness the energies of rise and fall alike. Success, failure, love, loss, they are not endpoints but movements in the eternal dance of rhythm. The sixth principle, the principle of cause and effect, states plainly, every cause has its effect, every effect has its cause. There are no true accidents. Every action seeds consequences. Every thought is a cause. To live hermetically is to rise above victimhood, to become a conscious causer rather than a passive receiver. It is to move deliberately, to understand the hidden chains of causality, and to create one's destiny with intention. And lastly, the seventh principle, the principle of gender. Gender is in everything, everything has its masculine and feminine principles. This is not merely about physical gender, but about the cosmic forces of activity and receptivity, assertion and nurturance, logic and intuition. True mastery lies in balancing these forces within oneself. To act when the time is right, to receive when the moment demands. To merge the fiery force of will with the gentle flow of wisdom. These seven principles are not just intellectual ideas, they are living energies, laws inscribed in the fabric of being itself. And as we journey deeper into their hidden layers, we will uncover even more profound mysteries, ones that hint at powers few dare to imagine. For knowledge alone is not enough, true Hermetic mastery demands something more. As we move deeper into the heart of the Hermetic teachings, the path grows even more labyrinthine. The principles we've discussed thus far serve as keys to understanding the fundamental structure of reality, but there are hidden layers to these laws, advanced truths that require a subtle, refined awareness to fully grasp. Let us now begin to explore the mysteries that often go unnoticed by those who merely skim the surface of Hermeticism. These hidden layers not only reveal more profound insights into the nature of existence but also offer a more advanced level of personal mastery. First, let us revisit the principle of mentalism. It's easy to view this as merely an abstract idea, that reality is mental, a product of the mind. But when you dive into its deeper implications, you see that it is not simply about individual consciousness. It is about understanding that all of existence is a thought form, an idea within the mind of the all, the divine source of all creation. If everything is mental, then your thoughts are not just individual impulses but participations in a larger cosmic thought. This means that your thoughts, emotions, and actions are not isolated from the universe. They are woven into the very fabric of reality, impacting it in ways you cannot always perceive. Imagine that every thought you have ripples across the vastness of the cosmos, shifting the course of events in subtle yet profound ways. To live fully in alignment with the principle of mentalism, one must learn to control the mind, not just in terms of discipline, but in understanding its divine origin. The mind is the tool through which we connect with the divine source, and through it, we shape and reshape the very fabric of our reality. The more aligned your thoughts are with the higher, universal mind, the more effortlessly your life flows in harmony with the cosmic rhythm. Next, we turn our attention to the principle of correspondence, a key to unlocking the hidden connections between all things. As above, so below, as below, so above, is often interpreted in the context of the human being as a reflection of the greater universe. But the depths of this principle go even further. It implies that every level of existence, from the physical to the metaphysical, mirrors one another in perfect symmetry. This is why ancient mystics often employed symbolism to express their wisdom. They knew that symbols, like the Ouroboros, the snake eating its tail, the tree of life, or the sacred geometry of the flower of life, were not just random images, they were representations of universal truths. Every physical object, every idea, is a correspondence, a mirror of something deeper. When you learn to decode the symbols of the world, you unlock higher layers of understanding. But this principle does not only apply to the material and spiritual planes, it also applies to your inner world. The state of your thoughts, emotions, and attitudes is a reflection of your outer world. Change the inner, and the outer follows. This knowledge is not just philosophical, it is a call to action. To heal the world, one must first heal the self. Moving forward, we examine the principle of vibration with greater depth. At its core, this principle teaches that everything vibrates. This is the true nature of all existence. What we perceive as solid matter is actually vibrating energy, and the frequency of that vibration determines the state of the material world. But there's a darker mystery to this principle. What about the vibrations we cannot see? The subtle, invisible forces that influence us in ways we cannot immediately detect? This is where Hermeticism opens a door to the unseen realms. Thought, emotion, and even intention carry vibrations that, though imperceptible to the ordinary senses, can have profound effects on our lives and the world around us. This is why the spiritual adept seeks to raise their vibration. By doing so, they become attuned to higher frequencies, those of divine wisdom, peace, and creativity. But there is a caution here. Low vibrations, fear, anger, doubt, also exist, and they, too, shape reality. The student of the Hermetic arts must learn to discern the vibrations they tune into, for the frequency you attune to determines the nature of your experiences. This is why spiritual practices like meditation, prayer, or energy work are not just about quieting the mind but about raising your vibrational frequency to a level that aligns you with the higher, divine order. We now come to the principle of polarity, which teaches that everything exists in duality, light and dark, good and evil, hot and cold. But what if we told you that this is an illusion? That the opposites are not truly separate, but are, in fact, the same thing viewed from different angles? Take light and dark as an example. Light is not an absolute opposite of dark, rather, it is a gradation, a shift in the same phenomenon. Darkness is simply the absence of light, and light is the presence of energy. To understand this on a deeper level is to realize that opposites are merely different expressions of the same force. This is the true secret behind transmutation. transforming one thing into another by changing its polarity. For the advanced student of Hermeticism, this understanding opens the door to the art of alchemy, not merely in the physical sense of turning lead into gold, but in the spiritual and mental realms. It is the ability to shift your perception, to transform your inner state and, in doing so, transform the world around you. The principle of rhythm holds a profound secret as well. Life moves in cycles, yes, but those cycles can be bent, even transcended, when you understand their nature. Time, too, is a rhythm. But the Hermetic sage knows that by mastering rhythm, one can transcend time. This is the deeper mystery behind the concept of the eternal present. By understanding the flow of cycles, the adept can learn to harness the power of momentum, the ability to move with the tides of the universe, rather than against them. But it requires a deeper awareness, a knowing that all things are temporary. The secret, then, is not to control time but to dance with it, to allow yourself to be moved by it while maintaining your inner stillness. The principle of cause and effect becomes even more esoteric when you realize that cause and effect are not linear. The Hermetic view of causality is cyclical, multidimensional. Every effect has a hidden cause, and every cause is part of an eternal chain of events stretching across space and time. The power lies in recognizing the hidden causes behind apparent effects, and in doing so, becoming a conscious creator of your own fate. Finally, the principle of gender reveals the most profound mystery of all. True mastery comes not from the dominance of one principle over the other, but from their union. The masculine and feminine principles, assertion and receptivity, action and contemplation, are the forces that create life, and when they come together in perfect harmony, they give birth to the higher self. In the deepest sense, the work of the Hermetic practitioner is the marriage of these principles within themselves. When the inner masculine and feminine align, the seeker becomes an agent of divine creation, able to manifest their will into the world with grace, ease, and power. Now that we have ventured into the ancient mysteries of the Hermetic teachings, it's time to bring this knowledge into the realm of the practical. Hermetic wisdom is not just meant for contemplation in quiet study rooms. It is designed to be applied, to change the way we think, act, and live in the world. It is the bridge between the mystical and the everyday, between the invisible forces and the tangible realities we encounter. To begin, let us explore how to apply the principle of mentalism. Remember, the universe is mental, and your mind is a co-creator in this vast mental plane. So how do we harness this? The first step is mindfulness. Begin by observing the thoughts that dominate your mind. What are your habitual patterns? Are they thoughts of lack, fear, or limitation? Or are they thoughts of abundance, creativity, and empowerment? In practical terms, this means taking responsibility for your internal dialogue. The Hermetic adept doesn't allow the mind to run on autopilot. Instead, they deliberately direct it, like a skilled artist wielding a paintbrush. Practice affirmations or visualizations to align your thoughts with your desired reality. See yourself living as you wish to be. Feel it, experience it emotionally, and begin to perceive the world through this lens of possibility. Your thoughts shape your world. Now, shape them consciously. The principle of correspondence teaches us that the inner world mirrors the outer. To apply this principle, take time each day to cultivate harmony within yourself. Practice inner alchemy, transform your emotions and thoughts into higher states. If you are feeling anger or frustration, transform it through mindfulness into understanding or compassion. This internal change will, in turn, affect the outer world. It's not magic, it's the law of correspondence at work. A simple exercise for this is the mirror technique. Stand before a mirror, looking deeply into your own eyes. In that reflection, see not just yourself but the universe reflecting back at you. As you gaze, speak words of affirmation about your life and your potential. As above, so below. Let your inner harmony be mirrored in the outer world. The principle of vibration calls us to understand that everything is in motion, and we must align ourselves with the higher vibrations of existence. In practice, this means cultivating an awareness of what you're resonating with throughout the day. What frequencies are you tuned into? Is it the vibrational frequency of fear, doubt, or negativity? Or is it one of love, gratitude, and abundance? A powerful way to raise your vibration is through daily rituals of gratitude. Begin and end your day by listing things you are grateful for. This simple practice elevates your energy and helps you resonate with the higher frequencies of joy and fulfillment. Meditation, too, can help align your mind with higher vibrations. Use sound frequencies, such as binaural beats or solfeggio tones, designed to elevate consciousness and bring balance to the energetic body. The principle of polarity teaches us that opposites are not absolute, they are relative, part of the same whole. This knowledge is profoundly practical when applied to our emotional states. When you experience negative emotions, such as fear or anger, recognize them as parts of a greater continuum, and transmute them into their opposites. Fear can be transformed into courage. Doubt can become certainty. The practice of mental transmutation lies at the heart of the Hermetic path. Here's a simple exercise. When you feel an intense negative emotion rising, close your eyes and take a deep breath. Acknowledge the emotion, but do not identify with it. Now, ask yourself, what is the opposite of this emotion? What would the opposite feel like? Begin to focus your energy on that opposite, imagining it flooding your being. Allow this new emotion to replace the old one. This is the art of polarity shift, a key tool for inner mastery. The principle of rhythm offers us the wisdom of cycles. Life is filled with ebbs and flows, times of abundance and times of challenge. Instead of resisting the rhythm of life, we must learn to flow with it. To practice this principle, cultivate patience and surrender. Understand that all things come in cycles: relationships, health, finances, even states of mind. When things seem to fall into a low, recognize it as part of the larger rhythm of existence. An effective practice is the art of cyclic journaling. Track your emotional, mental, and physical states over a period of weeks or months. You will begin to notice patterns, times of high energy and times of reflection. By understanding these rhythms, you can prepare for the natural ebbs and flows, rather than being caught off guard. This gives you a sense of mastery over your life, as you are no longer a passive participant but an active observer and navigator of the cycles of time. The principle of cause and effect teaches us that every action has a corresponding reaction. If you wish to create the life you desire, you must become the cause of those desired effects. This requires intentional action. To put it into practice, begin to set clear intentions each day. What do you want to manifest? What small actions can you take each day to move closer to your goals? The Hermetic approach to cause and effect is not about waiting for things to happen to you. It's about consciously creating causes that will inevitably lead to the effects you desire. Small, deliberate actions compound over time, like a river carving a canyon. Begin with simple rituals, perhaps lighting a candle each morning while stating your intention for the day. Or, if you are working on a specific project, take one small action every day towards its completion. These small efforts will eventually create significant shifts in your life. The principle of gender reminds us that the true art of creation lies in the union of opposites. In practice, this means integrating both the masculine and feminine energies within yourself. The masculine is the active, assertive energy, while the feminine is receptive, nurturing, and intuitive. To balance these forces, engage in practices that honor both. One powerful technique is to alternate between assertive and receptive practices. On one day, you may focus on action, setting goals, completing tasks, and making decisions. On another day, you may focus on receptivity, meditating, reflecting, or engaging in creative activities that require flow and intuition. By consciously balancing these energies, you bring about harmony within yourself, and thus, the ability to manifest more harmoniously in the world. In the ancient texts of the Hermetic tradition, the great mystery is not just to understand the laws of the universe, but to live them, to embody them in every moment. The wisdom we have uncovered today is not an intellectual pursuit, but a call to action, a way to awaken to the profound truth that you are not merely a passive observer of life, but an active participant in the grand dance of creation. By applying these sacred principles, mentalism, correspondence, vibration, polarity, rhythm, cause and effect, and gender, you begin to move with the flow of the cosmos, rather than against it. You awaken the latent powers within you, stepping into your true potential as a conscious creator of your reality. So ask yourself, are you ready to step beyond the limits of ordinary life? Are you prepared to embrace the mystical and the practical, merging the ancient wisdom of the Hermetic arts with the needs and challenges of the modern world? The time is now to awaken the mysteries within.